So, hi, I'm back, kind of, sort of, after 5 billion years, after literally aliens showing up on this planet and begging me to come back to YouTube. I think I want to be back. So today's video, after literally 4 years, like the last time I uploaded anything was when I started my PhD, and I've finished my PhD since, so like that's how much time it's been. Today's video is going to be just kind of like an life update because I've been meaning to do this. I've been literally meaning to come back on YouTube and make videos for the past 4 years. Every week on my bullet journal, one of the kind of goals or wishes would be go back on YouTube, make videos. And I never did because I don't know, it's just one of those things, something you really want to do, but also you want to find any excuses possible not to do it because you're so scared and you don't want to risk, you know. And I feel like I've always done something similar with my passions in the past, you know, whether it was drawing or my passion for filmmaking. You know, I would always go up to a level and then I would have some kind of success, I would have some kind of encouragement, and people in that field would tell me, oh yeah, you're doing great, you should keep going. And then I would stop because I would be so scared to go any further, facing any criticisms or any negative comments. I mean, not negative, but you know what I mean. So basically with YouTube, I've always just been so self-conscious, and also like, okay, tell me if you can relate, but literally I could have an opinion about something this week and next week I hate it. I don't agree with myself. I've changed my mind. I've moved on. Like, that's not me anymore. So it's really hard to make videos talking about yourself or life or something when you're changing your opinion, like literally like this, you know. But I'm like that with everything. I'm just like always up and down. I'm really extreme ups and downs, and I'll talk about that in a bit, how much more extreme you can get with me. But basically the last time that I uploaded anything on here was when I had just started my PhD. I had just moved to the US, so I left my home country after 28 years. It was something that I mean, it was just that moment, you know, that you've been waiting for your whole life, and it finally happens and you cannot believe it. And I had so many dreams leading up to that day that something's gonna happen, I'm gonna die, like, is it ever gonna happen? You know, it was something that big for me, and it finally did happen, and I left and I started my new life, new journey. It was just like I was reborn, you know, a totally new life and totally new chance at life. So it was really exciting. That first semester I had the best time in my life ever. I mean, to this day, I think that first semester was the best time of my life because I met such wonderful people. My roommates were amazing. We became like a family. We would have so much fun together. My classes were kind of light. I wasn't working yet, so I didn't have that much of stress or pressure, you know, like work related, school related. And the other thing is that basically everything was new, you know, everything was a first. There were so many things I'd never done in my life. So one of them was the wine night, you know, like my roommate was like, oh, you've never had wine? We have to go try some wine. And we go to Walmart and we get some wine, and it's just like everything was new. Everything was an adventure. It was so much fun. I even enjoyed the winter of Midwest. And if you've ever experienced a winter around that region, you would know that I must have been out of my mind to enjoy that. But I'm telling you, like, I don't know who she was. Like, I don't know what mindset I was in. Like, I cannot relate, honestly. So and then COVID happened. Hello, hi, thank you very much. It's funny because I always feel guilty for anything bad that happens, and I felt like COVID was my fault. I was like, this is happening because I came here. Like, the timing is kind of suspicious. But after that, it was like more about getting used to life here, everything just settling in, and started my work in the lab, or the research classes, everything. So kind of just finding the groove of life here, and it was going well, I guess. But I feel like third and fourth year was where it really tested me. From then on, my non-existent mental health just started declining and just like, you know, going down. Love to see it. Not really, because it just, I don't know, I have these extreme mood swings. I don't know what it is. Is it hormonal? Is it me having bipolar or something? I don't know what it is, but one day I could be twerking and the next day I'm sobbing and planning how I'm gonna myself. Like, I don't know if this is normal. Please let me know. Please feel free to, diagnose me with anything. I've diagnosed myself with everything across the board. One day I decide, okay, I'm depressed probably. The next day I'm twerking and life is beautiful and I want to make things and draw and dance. And the next day I'm sobbing. So I don't know. I really don't. And also I feel like with PhD, it was just the mental stress is there, the physical, literally like labor is there, and then also you're an international student. So I feel like as international students, we are the most vulnerable group in society in the US, because not only you're broke, but also you're desperate to stay here, and you have this huge thing that you have to do, which is doing a PhD. I mean, doing a PhD is not easy. People would tell me that, but I was like, but I had to do it and I had to go through it to understand what they were talking about. It really tests everything, every limit of yourself that you know of, so, and it's just so easy to give up. But unfortunately, we don't even have that option. That's such a luxury to be able to say, I'm not doing it. Because for us, it's like, okay, you're not doing it, so go back to your country. And you don't want to do that. So what's the alternative? There's no alternative. And that's why when people would see me kind of really working my off in the lab and tell me, oh my God, you must be really passionate about the research. You must be really passionate about PhD. And I'm like, no, it's just because I have to, What other options do I have? I've been lucky enough to get here to this point. So my only option is to continue doing this, and I have to do it as best as I can. It's not really about loving or liking something. Honestly, I feel like it's just you have to work with and play with the cards that you were dealt. So doing a PhD was not so much about getting a degree, but more so about being able to say, I did it and it's done. Like, I finished it. It's this difficult thing that I started and I finished it. Yeah, so I would say that would be the biggest kind of like accomplishment, aside from the fact that, yeah, of course, you get the degree, you have a PhD. Being able to complete a research work, something that I was working on, that was, I guess, like fulfilling, because again, I did bring it to a finishing point. Other best part is meeting the people that I met. Like, I met some of the most important people in my life during this journey. So I wouldn't change it for the world, because then I wouldn't meet those people. And that was the best part of it, honestly. I met some people that have really deeply touched my life and my heart, and I can't imagine my life without them. So that's the best part. The worst part, I guess, was just it was getting progressively worse and worse and worse. There were so many aspects to why it was getting worse. It was my mental health, it was the stress, it was the pressure. At some point, because of how desperate and mentally vulnerable and in a really dark place I was, that I got scammed thousands of dollars. That story maybe for some other time, if you are interested in hearing it. It's kind of a silly story, but also I feel like what I did a lot was just because of the nostalgia of back home and the good things about back home and the good memories, I kept in my mind making scenarios of, what if I had stayed? I should have stayed. Life was so much better back there, and all of that. But in the meanwhile, I know that that's not true, because I remember how miserable I was back home. So I feel like maybe it's just me, Am I the problem? Like, am I the drama? I feel like, yeah, it's just me. Like, wherever I go, I am very good at finding things to be miserable about. Which is something that I've been working on through the whole mental health journey and journaling and bullet journaling and meditation and mindfulness and yoga, and I do those things, and I think it's really important. And maybe that's how I've been able to survive. I'm not gonna say that, okay, I'm fully healed and I'm just this functioning adult and I have no problems anymore. That's not the case. I feel like it's just maybe the condition of being a human, because I still have those days that I'm crying and I still have those days that I'm twerking. So it's kind of like a package deal, you know, like they come together, looks like. But yeah, there's just so much to unpack about the whole thing. I don't want to go into the details, but the important part is that it's done. And sometimes I can't believe it. I still haven't processed it. It's so funny because when I came to the US, I would have a lot of dreams about still being back home, still trying to leave my home country, still having some kind of issues with it, and my visa didn't come, and my passport got lost, and the last flight left, and the airplane just exploded, and there's always some kind of problem, and I couldn't come to the US. And now I keep having dreams where I am still in the lab and I'm still working and it's still not done and there's some kind of problem and those kind of things. And I feel like it's going to be like that for a while. I don't know what it is. I think just brain trying to self-regulate and regurgitating the old memories. I don't know what it is. It's kind of annoying because I still live in that world a lot at night, especially, so I wish I could have more peaceful dreams. It's a lot of the same stresses at night, but I feel like just like anything else, it's going to go through its natural process, and my body's going to just flush it out, I guess. I don't know, because a couple of days ago again I had a dream that I finished my PhD and then I can't find a job, and I go back to my home country thinking that I'll find a job when I'm there. But when I get there, I realized that it's so much harder to find a job and leave. And then I was thinking, why did I do this? Why did I leave? Why did I just leave the US? I was right there. It's so weird. It's like such a phobia. It's such a fear. It's become like a trauma. And this is something I really want to explore more and talk about in the future. I am now realizing what kind of generational trauma and societal trauma living in my home country has put me and people like me through, because it's so hard to heal from it. You know, we still carry those burdens and those wounds every single day. You could be living in the most free country in the world and you are still living with those wounds. You're still living with those unfortunately trauma, you know. So that's a lifelong work, kind of working on yourself. And I don't know, my life's share was that. So it could have been worse, it could have been better. It is what it is. But with that being said, I have some ideas that I want to make some videos for this channel. I know kind of what direction I want to go in. Kind of it's going to be just, you know, a mishmash of mental health, healing, inner child, and art, drawing, bullet journaling. I love those kind of things. So I'm going to be doing that, and maybe we can heal together. Please grab my hand. Someone put your hand out. If you're a real one, you know that was a Michael Jackson song, but maybe we can do this together, because honestly it's hard, and I don't know how people do it and they're just like, I'm healed, like, okay, I'm healed, boom. I don't know if I can do it that fast. I feel like it's a process, but now I feel like I have my life back. And that's why I'm doing this. And that's why I decided finally, it was a conscious decision. I have no excuses anymore. It's not like, oh, I'm doing a PhD. I can't do this because I have to just dedicate my time and my life to this cause and to the lab and to the research. That's done now. So I can do things with my life. So it's up to me if I do it or if I come up with some new excuses. And so I feel like it's a really, really big step of, again, taking care of myself to do something that makes me happy. Kind of something that my inner child wants me to do, and looks like it consistently wants me to do throughout these 4 years. I've just been having this wish and dream that one day I'm going to go back on YouTube. One day I'm going to go back on YouTube. Maybe that one day can be today. So I don't know. I hope that if there's something on your mind that you've been thinking about nonstop for a long time, but you're scared of doing, I hope you do it. I hope you just do it, you know, whatever it is. I mean, I knew that it wasn't going to be perfect. And that's another thing, like perfectionism. It stops you from doing things. Just do it. I don't care if it's like garbage. I'm going to put out this garbage to the world. Just facing my fear, you know. Yeah, let's just do it. Okay? Thank you if you watched so far. I love you. And hopefully, yeah, I'm gonna just try to be consistent and try to make a habit out of it. And we'll figure it out together.